you doing, sir?
Steve, how are you? This is the conversation of the two palest men in the world. We've finally gotten together.
I will take that challenge and say that I will win that battle against you.
I don't know. I would point out I'm in Vancouver and it's very cool here. Like it doesn't get super hot. We should be in this kind of cloudy Vancouver weather.
Problem with cloudy weather and being a pale person is you can be out in the sun for a while. You think you're safe. Then all of a sudden you're just super red.
Well, that's true. I mean, hey, I can get sunburned looking at a refrigerator. So, yeah.
Okay, you win. All right, jumping into some actual things. Did you take the role in Luca purely to get treated better at Disneyland and Disney World?
I mean, yeah, that is a consideration. But honestly, as you know, as everyone knows, Pixar movies, somehow Pixar always sticks the landing with every movie. It's like for 26 years, I don't know how they do it. I don't know if they're not, if legally they're not allowed to make bad movies. But, you know, you really, so often in the entertainment industry, and I love to work and it's really hard to do quality work, but somehow Pixar always, and it's not like they're doing the same movie over and over, but they always seem to do something ambitious and it works. And so I was mostly excited to be in a Pixar movie. And, you know, being the father of 5 children, it's like the first time my kids have ever been impressed with what I do.
Sure. I was going to say to you, being a part of Pixar is a really big deal. So actually, how much did you pay to be in the movie?
I paid $8,000.
I got it. That's actually pretty cheap considering. I really dug this movie and I love the message of it. What did you take away when you first heard about the script and story? What resonated with you the most?
I play a parent. So there's so many themes and ideas in this movie that are brilliant, but I love the idea of how as a parent you know, it's kind of like, not to get too Khalil Gibran, but like these kids are on loan and you have to, you know, you have to be a little selfless and let them go on their journey. But I also love the fact of, you know, I can totally nerd out on things, but I think that it captures, as adults, we have this romantic notion of summer that we attempt to achieve every summer, and that romantic notion is established when we're children. And so Luca and Alberto, that summer that they're having is what's going to be the myth of summer for them in the future. And so I think they capture that childhood summer idea brilliantly too.
Switching gears a little bit, when was the last time a director told you, we need to get this in one take?
Oh, well, there's certain scenes that are oneers, as they say. And by the way, as an actor, I like that because there's a challenge. And that's why I love indie films, really, is because there's often an efficiency of one take that will allow you to make choices and nuances that will stay in the story. You know, obviously I'm, you know, as an actor, I want to be a partner in helping the director or the writer director develop their vision. You know what I mean? I want to be a good partner, but yeah, I love one takes. You know, it's like, I love living in the moment. It sounds corny, but it's great.
Getting back into Luca for a second, with all animated movies, I've heard that things can really go through a dramatic change during production, whether it be a character arc, whether it be the whole movie. How did Luca change for you during the recording process, if at all?
You know, it didn't really change that much. Now, I don't know what was happening in the background, you know what I mean? Or, and I think that there is, you know, and just being a fan of Pixar, I know that there is a process that I'm crudely going to describe where they kind of have these focus groups among very selective peers within the Pixar community. So it's not And so I don't know how much that shifts. I know that like there's the legend of that Frozen, which is a Disney movie, but like that changed completely. You know what I mean? But like it's very rare in a creative process for a group or a community to work together. But I think that the input of a community, obviously led by a director, is very unique to animation and an important thing. And because things can adjust, you know what I mean? It's not kind of like, hey, we already tore down that set. They can adjust. And by the way, million years ago, when I did this thing, Pale Force, with Conan O'Brien, and you would have been in it because you're so pale, is that the thing about animation is that it's inherently editing. So it's kind of like you're never done. You know what I mean? Like you can continue to tinker along the way.
I am a huge fan of David Lowery, and I know I think you're still working on, I don't know, Peter Pan and Wendy. What can you tell people about the project and what excited you about being in it?
Yeah, you know, obviously I can't say that much, but I can say that, I too am a fan of David Lowery, and working with him, he is like so up to the task of this ambition surrounding it. Like, I have no doubt that this will be not only a great movie, but it'll be the best Peter Pan movie, because like when it's something that's been done, or there's been prequels and they've done different versions. What's so great about David is that he has this balance of grounding things, even though it's dealing in a fantasy, and that there's a very thoughtful, there's nothing lazy about David Lowery. Like, everything is, and it's weird to work with him because I'm so exhausted in the scenes, and then he runs off and he's working with the Splinter unit. I'm like, I just get tired thinking about how David Lowery's day goes.
Yeah, that's the thing I kind of wanted to get at, is that there's been so many versions of Peter Pan.
Yeah.
What is it about this version that is like, different? Or again, what is it about this version that really excites you?
I think, well, first of all, I think we know that the animated one is problematic, right? I mean, everyone knows that. But I think that what excites me about this version is, first of all, it's so ambitious to try to do this. You know what I mean? Because, it's not just, a time period or a fantasy or this classic story that we're dealing with, because also it's not just a movie, it's the play, it's the story, it's it's kind of like it's almost like a classic Greek story that's part of our character. But what David has done, and what I've witnessed, is that he's grounded it, but also made it live a little bit. So he's not just doing a rehash. He's not taking, and not that there's any criticism. It's not like he's taken, like with Lion King, they just did a live action version. Do you know what I mean? This one is, because of the problems of the insensitivity of how, from our present eyes, there's been a reimagination, but it's not done through kind of a lens of trying to make things right. It's just a reimagining of the story. I know I'm being vague, but
I get it.
And it's moving, by the way. The story is ever evolving, similar to an indie where you're constantly in discussion. And what's very exciting is playing the character of Smee. It's evolving. You know what I mean? It's not like David's like, no, Smee's just an idiot. You know what I mean?
I could ask you a million other things, but I'm totally out of time. I'm just going to say congratulations for being part of this. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks.